Howdy, folks. It's your good friend Hillbilly Scribbs with you for another one of these here episodes of the Truly Bizarre World. Right here, exclusively on the Feeding the Monster podcast feeds YouTube's channel. Yeah, and y'all know what we're doing. We're doing our countdown. That's right. We're doing our countdown to International Truly Bizarre Day, my favorite holiday. And as you know, it comes every year on the 31st of the October. And that's just a week away, folks. We're almost there. So as you know, just to recap what we've already discussed here, we started off by learning all about those crazy, kooky, mad scientists behind the Frankenstein monsters. And then we learned all about that dude from Laguna Negra. That's right. That cat, that cool cat, Mr. Gilman. And then we learned all about all of the different kind of Dracula vampires out there. And then we learned all about that mummy called Mum-Ra. And this week, we're going to learn all about the WolfMen. Episode 22, Tales of the WolfMen. Now, folks, this topic is kind of a big one. The WolfMen, they ain't no joke. So, when I've been doing my investigating research, which I've done quite a bit on the werewolves, I met a specialist, and he's become a friend of the show. He's helped us out here on the Truly Bizarre World. He's also helped us out with the Truly Bizarre Minute over on the Hoot and Hollar podcast, which you can catch every Monday on the Feeding the Monster podcast feed, wherever fine podcasts are served. But I reached out to him for this particular episode since this was his specialty. So today we're going to be joined by none other than Dr. Jimothy Pickles.
From the files of the Pickles Institute, it's the Pickles Papers featuring Dr. Jimothy Pickles.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Jimothy Pickles, PhD. I am a professor in Lycarun, like werewolf studies, and I am currently on an assignment in Eastern Hungary, testing out my latest theory. That theory being that silver bullets are no longer effective against werewolves because they're evolving. However, I believe that Coors Light beer, which is also known as the silver bullet, could be quite effective in hunting and dealing with werewolves. So I'm here in Hungary, and I found a man in a local tavern by the name of Farkas, which is Hungarian for werewolf. And we're out in the woods right now, and I am just pumping him full of Coors Light to see what it does. He's currently sleeping after about 12. I'm only on my 6th, so I still got a ways to go. But that's not why I'm here tonight. Tonight, I want to bring you the tale of 3 men who inherited an affliction from their father. Their father is Lord Claudius Talbot Cheney Sr. His friends called him Claude Tally. Claude served in Europe during World War II, often hooking up with a lot of gypsy women, slipping him the old Eddie Munster, if you will. Often, Claude, in these fanging encounters, did not sheath his sword, as it were. And so from one or a few of these romantic interludes, Claude Tally received an STD that would haunt him for the rest of his life. These are the stories of his sons who inherited his affliction, as told by the people who knew them.
Well, howdy do. Y'all know me, it's Old Whiskey, resident historian here in Tombstone, Arizona. And I got a call from that there Dr. Pickles asking if I'd be on the program here. And on account of me having extensive fortuitous amount of knowledge and experiences with the eldest child of that there Claude Tally. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's right. I'm talking about Lon Talbot Cheney Jr., or the second, or as we called him around here, the Deuce. Now, when I met up with the Deuce, he was looking for a cure for his particular set of ailments. And don't know that he ever found that cure, but he spent a lot of time looking for it. He tried on several occasions to describe to me exactly what his peculiar set of ailments was, but I didn't ever see him when he had a full-blown case of them, on account of, he said that usually happened on the nights of the full moons, and as you all know, on the nights of the full moons, that's when all the UFOs are out, right? And also the Sasquatches are out, leaving their footprints everywhere and eating up your vegetables from your garden. Yeah. So, obviously on the nights of the full moons, I'm not looking at my friend Deuce. I'm looking at the Sasquatches and the UFOs. So I never saw him when his case was full blown, as I said. But it was reported, and, a lot of folks did claim to see him when he was in all of his furry glory. Now, as far as finding a cure, I don't know that he ever did. I know he spent a lot of time on some of the Native American reservations around here. Wore all kinds of trinkets with the turquoise and the silver. Don't know that it did anything for his condition, but I know the Native Americans made a lot of money off of him. And that was before they had the casinos. Yeah, so, yeah, there's that. Now, he did go by a few other names when he was hanging out with them Native Americans. He took on some Native American names himself. Most notably, a few years back, he started calling himself Benicio of the Bull. Yep, true story. And more recently, there's rumors that he's been calling himself Ryan Little Goose. Now that sounds like something they cooked up over there in Hollywood, and I don't pay never mind any attention to that La La Land crap. But yeah, that's what I heard, so that's what I'm telling you. But that's really all I really know about the Deuce. Tales say he's still roaming the wilds out there looking for a cure. Hopefully he will find one day what he's looking for. Hola, amigos. It is I, El Scriblo. And the doctor Pickles, he called me and he asked me, he said, El Scriblo, do you know that guy? You know that David Kessler Cheney? And I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. And he said, can you talk about that guy a little bit? And I was like, yeah, I can talk about him. I can tell the people about him. So that's what we're going to do. So it all started back when I was had my own lucha libre, like a wrestling. I had my own wrestling group, and we travel all over the world. Yes, and put on good show for all the grown-ups and the kiddies. And the time we went, this one time we go to the London in the England. See. And, we try to use some the local talents whenever we go to the different cities. And there was this kid there in London. Yeah, little guy. But, he come to me and he say he want to wrestle. And he say he have a great gimmick, a great character. And I'm like, okay, man. But you're so small. And he says, oh, no, I will get big for you. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I waited, and then he show up one night to wrestle. And you know what? This guy was big. He was big and hairy. And you know what? He had this gimmick. He was like a wolf. And, we called him El Lobo Americano. Because he was, a wolf from America, you see? Yeah. So, he wrestled for a long time. But, the thing about this guy, he was kind of hard to work with. He wasn't very, flexible in the ring, He didn't really, work well with others. He just got in there and did his thing. Hurt some of my guys pretty good. And, I should not be telling you this. But we have a thing in the wrestling world that we call the kayfabe. And where we stay in character. It is why El Scriblo wear his mask all the time. But, for this guy, he stay in character all the time. and he had this. He get like I said, he get real big, and he had this like a fuzzy costume he wear, kind of like a one of the Chewbacca's, and he wore that thing all the time, even when he wasn't wrestling. And he was a heel. He was a bad guy, and he would stay a bad guy even when he wasn't wrestling. He would leave his costume on and stay a bad guy and hurt a lot of people. But man, could he bring in the crowds?
Hello, babies. My name is Wolfman Gilbert Rains, and you probably know me as the third highest rated Christian rock DJ in the southern United States. I work for WGOD in Biloxi, Mississippi. And actually, speaking of which, babies, just hold on one second. I'm going to introduce the next song on my radio show. Hold on here. All right, babies, we got a special treat coming up for you. It's the latest single from Pulpit Friction. It's Wolf in Sheep's Clothing right here on WGOD. Ooh! All right, babies. Now, Dr. Jimothy Pickles asked me to come on here today and talk to you about my uncle, the world-famous DJ, Wolfman Jack Chaney. Wolfman Jack Chaney, my uncle. I don't like talking about him very much because he and I had a falling out about 15, 20 years ago. He insisted on pushing the devil's music, the rock and roll, whereas my path took me more towards Christian rock. But we always suspected that great Uncle Wolfman Jack dabbled in the dark arts and actually was a werewolf. There was so much evidence we couldn't deny it. He had that big bushy unibrow. He had that big bushy beard. He would stumble home naked at 4 a.m, smelling of booze. I'm telling you, babies, he was a werewolf. In the 1950s, of course, Wolfman Jack was famous for being a bad influence on the kiddies. They would thumb their noses at authority. They'd go dancing with Mary Jane, if you know what I mean, babies. Of course, that's smoking reefer cigarettes. And he would just basically, any misguided act of defiance was the calling sign of Wolfman Jack Chaney, who I firmly believe, babies, was a werewolf, and Dr. Pickles is helping me prove that. But my time is running out. I got to sign off from my radio show here. Just hold on one second for me. All right, folks, I hope you like that latest single from Pulpit Friction. I'm going to leave you today with the latest hit single from Nuns and Moses. That's right. Live and Let Live. Right here on WGOD. I'm out of here tonight, babies, but just remember, the fact that there's a highway to hell and only a stairway to heaven says a lot about anticipated traffic numbers. Good night, babies. Oh, 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 oh. If you or anyone you know have friends or family suffering similar afflictions, to contact the host of this program, Hillbilly Scribbs, or you may visit me at my website, slobberdoggies.org. I understand that is a mouthful of a website name. When I was reciting it to the lady over the phone to register the website, I had a little bit of a stuttering issue, so now I'm stuck with this impossibly long website name. But please, go there and contact us if you have any information leading to people who may have similar afflictions to the sons of Claude Talley.
Now, if you've got a story or a topic idea for the truly bizarre world, the best thing to do is to download the Anshur app onto your mobile device. And you can go on there and look up the Feeding the Monster podcast feed and leave us a voice message. And, it's just like making a phone call and leaving a message, except for you only got a minute to do it. And you know what? That's actually a good thing because it keeps the super secret government agencies from tracking your calls. That's right. And as always, you can also leave comments, questions, and suggestions for future show topics right down there in the comment section of this video. Make sure you are liking and sharing and subscribing the video. And somewhere around here, there's a little bell ding dong icon, and you can click on it and it'll give you a notification whenever a new show comes out. So make sure you do that. And also, make sure you're checking out all the other stuff here on the Feeding the Monster YouTube's channel. And checking out all of our podcasts over on the Feeding the Monster podcast feed, which, as I mentioned earlier, you can find wherever fine podcasts are served. And Yeah, that's probably enough stuff for you to do. But also come back next week, because we're going to have a very special episode on account of it being International Truly Bizarre Day. That's right. A week from today will be the 31st of the October. I can't wait. And we'll have something special for you next week. So come back and check it out. But I guess until next week, until International Truly Bizarre Day, until the 31st of the October, y'all know what to do. Y'all keep it real, y'all keep it weird, and y'all keep it glorious.